Manchester United seriously chose a good summer to have no money to go after a striker. Now, I want to speak about this Isak news, which is breaking. If you haven't seen it, I'll tell you about it in a second. My point here is that, is this a market opportunity that Manchester United couldn't just sit and what? Somehow, financially, United try and find a way to get an offer in. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. If you haven't seen the news here, it's breaking that Isak has told Newcastle that he wants to leave, and Fabrizio has followed it up. This is the story. Alexander Isak has informed Newcastle of his desire to explore a move this summer. Club aware of the players' plans and will now decide on how to move. They've already started exploring the market for a top striker. I've got a Danish striker if you fancy, a little Danish striker. I'll tell you what United need to. Ibra, come on, man. Get in the call. Larson, get in the call. I don't know, get Lindelof in there as well. Pull all the Swedes out. My word, right? First things first, I know that very likely, are not going to have the money for this. But in a summer where Liverpool have already signed a striker, and I'll speak about Liverpool getting linked with him again, by the way, and Arsenal have already signed a striker, Chelsea have already signed a striker, but with Chelsea, they probably still have the money to put in another ridiculous bid for him because they sign everyone in the world. The best striker in the Premier League is effectively put in a transfer request and wants to leave. My word. Now, I don't think there's any chance. Even I'm laughing at this. I'm laughing, but I'm not laughing inside. Like, seriously, in a summer where Manchester United are, desperate for a striker. Ekitike, Gyökeres, Sesko's never really been. He's just been overpriced. And Isak, all potentially moving, and Manchester United can't afford any of them. That sucks balls. I don't really think there's any chance of any conversation getting started with Højlund in. But genuinely, I think there's a conversation that could include Garnacho and or Sancho. Why not? Why not? Well, because Newcastle wouldn't want him. It's probably going to be the answer you're going to come at me in the comments with. I also saw this. Isak remains a target for Liverpool even after signing Ekitike. And that there's no talks with Al Hilal. Of course, PIF own Newcastle and Al Hilal, so they've effectively been selling. But the idea that Liverpool could sign Ekitike and Isak is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I get the feeling this is something that United are going to have to watch from the sidelines given the finances that we've got, but is there any way? Let me just think about this logically. United could use the credit card, which I don't think we want to do, nor do I think we should do, really, because it's an unsustainable way to do transfers. Our budget's gone, isn't it? Our budget's gone on Cunha and on Mbumo, and we're sat in a position where I think realistically we'd like to go in for Watkins, but the only way that we can go in for Watkins is if we sell Højlund. But could there really be a situation where Isak leaves Newcastle, Arsenal sign Gyökeres, Liverpool sign Ekitike, and still United can do nothing? Very entirely possible. But I'm sorry. United are going to have to explore that. How much do you think he actually goes for? Now, can I just take 1 minute here to actually just... I'm sorry, but this is objectively hilarious what's happening to Newcastle right now in this summer window. If you're Newcastle fans, if you're watching, you're not going to appreciate me saying that. But it is. From Cunha to Mbumo to James Trafford, all their targets, not signing any of them, to their main man, the man that they're trying to stand firm on the fact that he's not going to be sold unless it's for an insane amount of money, has pretty much told them, I want to leave the club. Has pretty much handed in a transfer request. But Arsenal, do you think there's... I mean, mate, that would be so sick and not good if Liverpool managed to sign both of them. I think the reason I'm reacting to this in the way I am is that bloody hell, Liverpool already won the league last year. And they've already had a pretty damn decent summer. The idea that they could then they've had a very good summer so far. Who am I kidding? They could then throw Isak in. It's like, Jesus Christ, like what this idea of Project 2028, well, you're gonna have to limit how far away the top is. My word, that's somebody in the comments, right? Please come and tell me a way that United could somehow make this viable this summer. I suppose if we were to do that, we'd have absolutely nothing left for a midfielder. We'd have nothing left for a goalkeeper. Maybe this is sort of heart over head sort of conversation, but I think it's one that needs to be had. Why is it that United got no money? Fucking Glazers, man. They really have just put us in this grim position. Imagine that Man United need a striker, and in a summer where Gyökeres goes, and Isak maybe goes, and Ekatike's on the move, and Sesko, well, he's just been sidelined because they've overpriced him. Do you think there's any chance that... Nah, well, they won't be interested in Hornet, but do you think there's any chance that they're interested in Garnacho or Sancho? Or anybody else? Luke Shaw? Casemiro? Oh, sorry. I'm laughing because it's not really funny. Because Isak would be... I think if at the start of the summer, if you asked probably fans of Arsenal, if you asked fans of Liverpool, Chelsea, everybody would have said Isak as number one. We know that Manchester United have gone for a strategy of signing Premier League proven players this summer. There wouldn't be any better signing. If you're playing Football Manager, you'd probably make this signing immediately. But this is real life, and the finances have to match up. I know that United probably aren't going to have the money for this. I know that we're just going to have to sit and watch by the sidelines. But I just think it would be silly if United, even if it doesn't go any further than being internal, have conversations about this, because this represents now a market opportunity that I don't think anybody expected. Or did they? As soon as I saw that Isak had left the pre-season tour with a thigh injury, I was like, really? And then a couple of hours later, we're hearing that he's basically put in a transfer request. Somebody find me a way in the chat, be a good person, of making this make sense financially somehow. Whether that's on the credit card, whether that's the players that are sold, whether that's the offer that we're going, would Newcastle even sell to us? Look, do you think there's any chance? Or is this just going to be an opportunity, I suppose, that United simply can't afford, even if they can't afford to miss it?